Greetings, Otaku Faithful. Thank you for joining me again this week. Once again, it's Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief, and I'm here to bring you yet again another favorite villain segment right here on Otaku Assemble! Weekly, as always, here to bring you the latest in this week's favorite villains video segment. Now, if you all have seen my favorite heroes segment, then you know that this week, the Kingdom Hearts series, yes, I'm finally doing favorite heroes, favorite villains for the Kingdom Hearts series. You guys voted for it, and it wasn't even close. I mean, the Kingdom Hearts series, as of Tuesday, had like 32 votes, and the second place had like 15, so it wasn't even close. Wasn't even close. So I'm going to go ahead. You guys wanted it, so here it is. Favorite heroes, favorite villains for the Kingdom Hearts series. Now, with that said, as I mentioned in my favorite heroes video, that doing a favorite heroes, favorite villains for a video game is a lot different because there is another factor that comes into place when you're choosing your favorite hero, favorite villain, and that is gameplay. One thing that film, television, literature, one thing it doesn't have is interactiveness. Video games do. So, as I mentioned, my favorite hero, favorite villains will be based on, well, my favorite hero was based on who was the funnest to play with, and that was Jack Skellington. Now, my favorite villain is who was the hardest to beat. Now, of course, you know, throughout the Kingdom Hearts series, you have your Xehanorths, your Xemnas, your Sephiroths, but I'm sorry. This motherfucker gets favorite villains for the Kingdom Hearts series, because I shit you not, I have not had a harder time beating this motherfucker, okay? That is the character of Kirk Zisa. Now, a lot of you might not have any fucking idea who the fuck Kirk Zisa is. Let me tell you who this character is. Okay. In Kingdom Hearts 1, for the most part, the way the story goes is you pretty much go from world to world locking the keyholes in each world. And that's about like the first half of the game, right? However, there is a point where you have to backtrack to a lot of the worlds. One of the worlds you have to backtrack in the first Kingdom Hearts game is Agrabah. When you go back to Agrabah, I believe this takes place after the fight with in Hollow Bastion. You have the fight with Riku when he turns all evil, emo and shit. And then like after you beat him, right? Like I think Hollow Bastion, you can't go to Hollow Bastion for a while. You have to backtrack, right? Well, when you go back to Agrabah, there's a boss fight waiting for you when you go back. This is after you've already beaten it, mind you. After the whole Jafar storyline, when you go back, there's a fucking boss waiting for your ass. His name is Kirk Zisa. What he is a giant six-arm armadillo, cobra, Arabian desert type heartless with two really big fucking swords. Let me tell you about this motherfucker. And I'm going to tell you why he's my favorite villain out of the whole series. Like I said, he's my favorite villain because he was the hardest fucking character for me to beat. I'm not even fucking with you. This motherfucker was insanely difficult at the time. Okay? Now, a little brief history about me and the Kingdom Hearts series. When I first got into Kingdom Hearts, it was actually by way of my little sister. Shout out to her. I know she doesn't watch my videos, but still, because my little sister was the one who actually got the game when it first came out. And so, a lot of that game we played together, you know. But that has to be the first boss fight where it took both of us to beat that motherfucker. I kid you not. Me and my little sister were trading back and forth. That's how hard this fight was. So she would play for a couple of minutes, and she's like, okay, you try. And I'm like, all right, let me try this. And then I would play. And, I mean, I was the one playing when we finally took this motherfucker down. But For fuck's sake, man. Oh, for fuck's sake. Never has the roll move been used so much. Oh, man. And then you don't even have a partner for that fight. Like, you have to play with your traditional party, you, Donald, and Goofy. You don't have a partner like Aladdin isn't with you in that fight. But for fuck's sake, he was so hard. And oh my god, I remember, cause he is one of the bosses that have multiple health bars. When you get that motherfucker to that last health bar, he has this. Okay, Kirk Zisa has this. He has this move, this rolling slash move, where pretty much he flips himself horizontal and he starts spinning like this, and he starts following you. That's easy enough to roll out of the way, right? But when you get that motherfucker to his last health bar, guess what? He starts spinning like this, horizontally. You know how fucking difficult it is to roll out of that shit? You literally have to jump over that, and it is hard as you literally have to jump like at the last possible second to avoid that attack. That motherfucker was so unnecessarily difficult, okay? Made my afternoon highly fucking difficult, okay? It took us hours to beat this motherfucker. And it was because, well, for the most part, because we were going at it with, brute strength. Come to find out, the most effective weapon against him were the summonings. Like, I remember, I think Dumbo was one of the most effective, if not the most effective move against him, because number one, Dumbo can fly, so it's easy to get out of the way. But number two, Dumbo has a long range attack, so those water bubbles, you can shoot that shit and stay away from this motherfucker. That's why Dumbo was one of the most effective weapons. I remember Mushu was effective too, because Mushu can shoot fire. And Genie was so-so. Genie was only good with his special attack, which was like the little explosion thing. That was the only time Genie was actually helpful. But for fuck's sake, man, this motherfucker was hard. And just so you guys know who I'm talking about, I will post a picture of him for the thumbnail. And a lot of you will be like, oh yeah, I remember that boss. But yeah, man, that motherfucker was hard. No, I shit you not. In Kingdom Hearts 1, he was harder than both of the Titans in the Colosseum and Sephiroth. Like, it could be because of my current level when I fought that boss. But by the time I got around to Sephiroth, I was so juiced up that he wasn't that hard. Actually, I beat Sephiroth in the first game with some ease. Actually, I didn't have a problem with Sephiroth until the second game, and quite honestly, because they made it to the point where if you didn't have the ultimate Keyblade, you couldn't beat him in the second game. I wasn't about busting my ass to get that ultimate Keyblade, so I was like, "Fuck it, I don't care." If I couldn't beat him with my Keyblade, then fuck it. And yeah, I had the ultimate Keyblade in the first game, but that's because I used the cheat code, so. But no, this Kurt Zisa, that motherfucker, was difficult. Difficult. That was one of those matches where I was sweating. My forearm was all tight. I got carpal tunnel in my hand and shit. We go hard. We go hard on the games, man. But, so that's why he gets the number one spot for favorite villain. Because he was hands down, had to be one of the hardest motherfuckers I've ever played. Also, I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to prevent the whole cliche picks. Like, okay, for an example of what I'm talking about, when people were requesting favorite hero, favorite villain for Kingdom Hearts, I'm pretty sure most of you were thinking I was gonna pick Sora for favorite hero and one of the organization 13 members for favorite villain, right? That's too cliche. It's predictable. No, that's why I went ahead with who were the characters that I had the most fun playing with and the most difficulty playing against. That's why I did it like that. Just like for all of those of you who request Smallville for favorite hero, favorite villain, it's obvious. My favorites are Clark and Lex. But should Smallville, go ahead and get voted up for me to do it one week, I'm not going to do a video on Clark and Lex. I'm not. I'm going to pick some obscure choices, some unobvious choices. And actually, I know who I'm gonna use if Smallville ever gets voted up there. I know who I'm gonna use, but it won't be who y'all expect. But with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wrap this video up because I am marathon recording and I got 2 more videos to knock out, and those are my review of the 2010 film Frozen and my review of the first season of Sons of Anarchy. So, by all means, guys, check those vids out. Especially for all of my viewers who haven't seen the Sons of Anarchy series, but you may be interested in it, but you're 3 seasons behind. I got you covered for this week and for the next 3 weeks until season 4 premieres. I am going to review all 3 seasons. I promise you. By the time I'm done, you will know the gist. I probably won't cover everything, but you'll know what you need to know. You'll know the bare bones stuff. You'll have the bare bones info. You'll go into season 4 knowing who everyone is, because I got you covered. Your boy got you covered. So, with that said, thank you for joining me again this week. This is Larry Williams, the OAW Commander-in-Chief. I'm signing off, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.